If you're an artist, a musician, a painter, and somebody discovered your work today, could they spend time inside your work? Could your work fill a room? Or would they hit the end quickly? It'd be like one wall versus an entire gallery. This is the concept I want to talk about with you today. Building a body of work as an artist and why it is probably the most important thing that you can do, and where I see most artists fail early on in their career. Because it's not about virality, it's not about talent, it's not about growth, it's about having a long-term career as an artist. And without building a body of work, you probably won't have a very long career. Today, in the landscape of the internet and social media, everything is so fast. Everything is 5 to 10 seconds. There is a trap that I see so many artists fall into, and that is starting over. When you start over, you lose all of the momentum that you built before. You lose all of the time and effort that you put in to the thing that you started. Let's say you put out an EP as an artist. Let's say you put out 4 or 5 songs. Maybe that kind of music isn't as cool anymore. Or someone commented on one of your videos and it just stung a little too much, and you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe I just need to change my name. Maybe I need to change my look. Maybe I need to change my sound. Well, I can tell you that that is one of the worst strategies as an artist, because time is the medium that we move through as humans. Like a fish moving through water, time is the thing that we move forward through. If you're not using time to your advantage, you are going to lose as an artist. Because let's say your artist project is a building, right? You start building it, you go 3 stories up, you abandon it, you move to the next one. Start building it, you get maybe 4 stories up, you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, someone comments something mean or somebody says it sucks. You start over. Let's go build another building. Now you have all these separate buildings, and if you would have just stayed with the one original building, it would have been this tall by now. And when you break that continuity. And instead of building the tallest building in the city, you're building 5 small buildings that no one will ever see. They'll never poke up above the cloud line. They'll never get giant enough for people to actually look up and be like, oh my gosh, what is that building? When you're an artist and you feel like you need to start over, ask yourself, is this going to help me or is this going to hurt me? And the reason that I think building a body of work is one of the most important things that you can do is because we are here to create. We are, whatever you believe in our bodies, I believe we have a soul, and I believe that soul needs a body to be in this world and create. The same thing happens with your artwork. Your artwork is part of your soul, but it also needs a body to live in the world and move through. And a body of work can look like an album. It can look like 3 albums. It can look like an art gallery filled with your artwork. It is something that can go and move through time. It can move through other people's lives. I can be expressing what's in my mind, what my soul is feeling, because I have a body that can communicate it. And your artwork needs the exact same thing. It needs a body to communicate your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings, your emotions, your perspective on the world as an artist. And if you don't have that body and you keep resetting your project every few years, you're more likely to end up nowhere. As a songwriter and music producer, I witnessed so many artists falling into this trap. After 10 years or so in the industry, the ones that actually stuck with the thing for past 5, 6, 7, 10 years were the ones that actually got somewhere, because they had an entire fan base, they had an entire lore built behind them. Because when you have a viral piece of content, that is not going to make your career. When The Weeknd initially blew up, I remember going back and listening to House of Balloons. I remember going back and listening to his original album and being like, dude, this artist is amazing. How have I not heard about this artist? And then I dove into the entire catalog. And that's what you're missing when you don't build a body of work. You're missing the ability to create fans, because people aren't fans of one song. That's why there's one-hit wonders. People are fans of an entire ecosystem of ideas, feeling that they can live inside. Some of the best artists in the game right now, they don't want you to listen to one song on their album. They want you to listen through to the entire album, because one song with 100 million streams is 100 million streams. But an album with 100 million people listening through to the entire album that's like 1 billion streams. I don't know how math works. But the biggest artists in the world, the people with the most monthly listeners on Spotify, are the ones that get you to consume their artwork from start to finish. And It's a much better business strategy to build an entire body of work, because then you can go and fill a museum with it. So if you're an artist and you feel like you've been trying for so long and you're not getting anywhere, how many times have you started over? Have you actually built a cohesive body of work? If your album sounds like 10 different genres, what is it? Are people going to be able to walk into your museum and understand who you are? Is there a common through line of your work that people can string it together and be like, oh, this is their body of work? This totally makes sense. And you can think about it like this. A single song is a moment. A viral piece of content is a moment. Your body of work is a place, and people go to places. They will pay money to go and be in a place, to see a museum, to see an artist play their albums, because as humans, we're wired for patterns. We recognize patterns. And when an artist sticks with the pattern long enough, I like what they're saying about that, relate to that artist, and you want to go to their concerts and you want to buy their t-shirts because you want other people to see that you resonate with the same things that this artist resonates. And you might find friends out there who resonate by wearing the band merch. It's just building recognition over time. And if you're trying to build a skyscraper, you're not going to get there by building 4 small buildings. And now you might be like, well, how do I actually build a body of work? I put out a few albums now. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing it. The quickest way to do that is to repeat themes, have repeating patterns in your music, to have like reoccurring questions come up. Like, let's just look at an artist like Taylor Swift. Her career, she has repeatedly made her music about her love life. And that has been the reoccurring theme that all of her fans love and connect with. And your identity isn't going to emerge after one song, an EP. It's going to emerge as you start to release more and more work. Because while people are listening to your old work, you can be working on new stuff for them to consume as soon as they get through the old work. And that's how you start to build a body of work. You consistently put out great art, because eventually when people do find your work, they're going to have an entire body of work to dive into, to fully consume. I did a whole video about why it takes 10 years to become an overnight success and my theory on that. So if you want to go watch that. But it kind of has to do with this, is that you need time to build up your body of work so that people can fully understand who you are as an artist. And when people can understand who you are clearly and easily, it's more likely for them to consume your art, to consume your music, because they can understand what you stand for. They can understand who's a fan of this music. We all have to learn to crawl before we can walk, and your early albums might be kind of weird. You still have the same body that you had when you were a kid, that you were in high school, but you might have gone through that awkward phase when you were a teenager. All of the stuff that you did before shaped you. And as an artist, all of the work that you put out will shape you. But if you change your name and you change your aim, who you are and what you're trying to do so many times, you won't have that awkward phase to go back through. You won't have that body of work for people to really, really understand who you are. So if you're an artist out there and you feel like you can't get anywhere, I'm gonna ask you, how many times have you started over? Give yourself enough time and consistency of putting out work in order for that snowball to start gaining momentum. And once it does, it makes it a whole lot easier, because building a body of work as an artist is one of the most important things that you can do to have a lifelong career. There's a reason that Taylor Swift can do an Eras tour. Think about your art as a museum. If you can only fill one wall right now, keep creating and stop starting over. Thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, I have more. If you have comments, if you have questions, let me know in the comments down below. I have been in the music industry for the last 16 years now. I've done everything from being an artist to being a songwriter, music producer, to being a touring photographer, to now being a creative director and social media and brand strategist for artists and companies. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'd be happy to help. My name is Michael. I'll see you in the next one.